Another game in the night window. This will be Saturday, 7:30 Eastern time on ABC. Tennessee traveling to Arkansas. The Vols are looking to start 5-0 for just the third time this century. Tennessee also started 5-0 in 2016 and in 2022. Remember, in 22, they actually started 8-0 because they got off to such an amazing start. Now, Arkansas is looking for their first win against a top 5 opponent since 2007. They beat number 1 LSU that year. LSU went on to win the national championship, but that triple overtime thriller is one that we all still remember very fondly. What an incredible and wild game that was back in 2007. Arkansas's last home win against a top 5 team was in 1999 against Tennessee. That win is Arkansas's only home win against a top 5 team since joining the SEC back in 1992. So historically, if you actually look at this matchup historically, there have been a lot of really crazy Arkansas and Tennessee games. I don't know why. They don't play each other that often, but for whatever reason, this game has provided a lot of intrigue and a lot of sizzle. Couple questions here. One, how good is the Tennessee offense? All right. Tennessee's offense has been one of the most productive this year, number 1 in points per game. They're 4th in rushing yards a game with 290. But there is a legitimate question now, especially after last week watching Oklahoma's defense against Auburn. Like, I don't think anybody looks at Auburn and says, yeah, you know what? Auburn's offense is the real deal, man. They put you in a lot of strain. So after watching Oklahoma's defense against Auburn, I started to think to myself, is Oklahoma's defense really one of the top groups in the country? And then I dove into the numbers just a little bit. And while Tennessee has faced, quality teams, I think NC State's quality for the most part. I think Kent State's terrible. I think Oklahoma, I thought, was better. Well, NC State's 93rd on defense. Kent State is dead last. And Oklahoma is actually 48th in college football in total defense, which I was surprised by. They're 34th in yards per play given up. So just taking that into account, that might be because they played Tennessee, and because they played Tennessee, their numbers got inflated. But watching them against Auburn, there were a couple big plays given up. So I started to think, okay, hang on. Maybe Oklahoma is not as good as we thought they were on defense. But still, we're going to find out all we need to know about Tennessee on offense. I think they're really good, by the way. Just saying, it is a question. Question number 2. Can Arkansas put some pressure on Nico Iamaleava and these wide receivers? Couple items of note here. Arkansas ranks dead last in the FBS in pressure rate at 24%, which I found interesting considering they do have a guy in Landon Jackson at defensive end that is likely going to play a really long time and make a whole bunch of money in the NFL. But with the way things are kind of structured, you can put a lot of attention on Landon Jackson. And there haven't been the other guys that have really stepped up and applied a huge and significant pass rush. And if you actually watch Arkansas's defensive front seven, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of disruption that they're trying to cause, but oftentimes they're moving laterally and they haven't really been able to get a whole lot of pressure. And let's be real too. I mean, they haven't really faced a ton of teams that are dropping back over and over and over and over and over again. So maybe the opportunities just haven't been there for them as well, but still the pressure rate, not great for the Hogs up to this point. One area where Tennessee, I think, can make significant progress is how they create yards after the catch. I think they have amazing wide receivers that are really fast, really agile, and they're going to find and create leverage on the defensive backs. So for instance, if the safety is lined up outside Squirrel White, the slot receiver, well, guess where Squirrel White's going to run? He's going to attack that leverage and break it to the inside. Well, if he's inside leverage, fine. And they'll attack that leverage and break it to the outside. They do a really good job of creating leverage for their wide receivers and getting favorable looks. Well, this is a good spot to be in because Arkansas allows 7.2 yards after the catch per reception. That is 120th in college football. So if Tennessee can create those favorable leverage scenarios and big plays, they'll create a lot of separation and they'll, as a result, get a lot of yards after catch. Question 3, can Tennessee's pass rush contain the super mobile Taylen Green? Green is one of 3 FBS players this season with 1,200 passing yards and 300 rushing yards. Devin Dampier at New Mexico is one. Washington State's John Mateer is the other. In the last 20 seasons, Green is just the 5th different quarterback to have 1,200, 300 in the first 5 games of the year. That joins a pair of Heisman Trophy winners and a starting quarterback in the NFL. Tebow did it in 07. Manziel did it twice in 2012 and 2013. Prescott did it in 14. Trevor Knight, that's right, Trevor Knight of Texas A&M fame at that point. Remember, he started his career at Oklahoma. He would be the 5th. So Taylen Green in rare air. The problem with Taylen Green is I think he holds it too long. I don't think he always trusts what he sees. If he would just cut it loose, this guy can be a huge problem. And if you catch Taylen Green on the wrong day, I'm just warning you right now. And it's not warning Tennessee fans. This is warning all college football fans. If you catch Taylen Green on the wrong day, he is going to light you up. I'm just telling you. He's a guy that makes ridiculous plays that you just can't quite wrap your head around sometimes. Go back, do yourself a favor, go back and watch the first touchdown that Arkansas scored against Texas A&M. There were basically the entire left side of the offensive line whiffed. Taylen Green somehow got out of a sack. I still don't really know how. Rolled to his left. Remember, he's a right-handed quarterback. Throws a perfect strike on target, rolling to his left, touch pass downfield, breaks a tackle, goes, scores. There might be 5 quarterbacks in the country that can make that play. Might be. Like I said, might be 5 quarterbacks in the country. Taylen Green is one of them. So don't catch him on the wrong day. Bottle him up before he gets going if you are Tennessee. And question 4, if the game is close, is that actually to Tennessee's benefit? Because I would think, right, in a normal world, not a college football world, because college football world's not normal, in a normal world, a close game would heavily benefit the home team and it would heavily benefit the underdog. Well, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case this year, because if you look at these two teams and how they've fared in close games recently, it's a pretty significant advantage in favor of Tennessee. Arkansas is 3-11 in games decided by single digits since 2022. That is 128th in that span, and the 11 losses are tied for the second most in the FBS. On the other side, Tennessee is 5-0 in one-score games since 22. That's the best record in the FBS, and the only team without a loss. Now, a couple trends in the game. Arkansas failed to cover in 7 straight home games, longest active streak in the FBS, and Arkansas is 7-1 against the spread in the last 8 ranked opponents that they faced. They're seeking their first outright win, however, though, against a top 5 team since 2007. I'll take Tennessee, but I think it's a lot of points. I think it's a lot of points in this game.